Hi, Colin. How you going?
Yeah, good, thank you.
That's good. Well done on that epic performance at Birdys on the weekend.
Yeah, thanks. It was tough, but yeah, no, I was glad when it was over.
Yeah, yeah. How are you feeling right now? Are you still feeling a little bit weird?
I'm feeling a little bit. Yeah, I didn't sleep. Like last night was my first night in my actual bed because I obviously just stayed in the caravan after the run, and I didn't sleep quite as well as what I thought. I think my legs are just used to running endlessly for hours, so
Yeah.
I probably woke up about 4 o'clock and I've been awake since, but. That's a lot more sleep than I had the 3 days before. So yeah,
Yeah. So did did you sleep in your own bed last night?
yes, I did last night. Yeah,
That's all right then. So how long have you been a runner for?
I've been a runner. I think probably since what am I now? 41 now. I've probably been running. I think probably did my first half marathon in my mid 20s in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did my first ever marathon was in 2019, the Melbourne Marathon in Australia. And then from that, I just went to ultras after that. So I
Mm.
only did really one normal marathon
Yeah, cool. How long have you been living in Australia for?
since 2013.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
what uh what got you to move to Australia?
I just came over traveling really. I was sort of getting to the age where if I didn't use my working holiday visa, it was going to run out. So I came over and I've got family in Perth and stayed with them for a few months, probably a bit too long.
Yeah.
But yes, did a few months with them and then just went off traveling and ended up meeting my partner. She was teaching in Derby of all places, and then yeah, we went to New Zealand and lived in Queenstown for a couple of years, and then came back to Australia. So
Yeah, cool.
yeah, that's it.
Um, so you mentioned you ran Melbourne Marathon. Did you live in Melbourne at any stage, or you were just there for the run?
No, I was just there for the run. I was living in Port Hedland at the time, and we lived there for 5 years. And I was out for dinner with the mother-in-law and my partner, and I was just a few glasses of wine and feeling a bit that I need to do something. So
Yeah.
there and then at the table, I said, right, I'm going to run a marathon. So I signed up for the Melbourne Marathon, and yeah, everyone at work was like, "You're not going to run the marathon," and yeah, anyway, I did, and then that sort of got lit a fire inside me again and give me the running bug. So
Yeah,
it was good.
cool. Do you remember what time you ran at that one?
Uh, 3:13 I ran. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah,
that's pretty decent.
yeah. I had to have a few weeks off before because I went to physio and she said, "Have you seen the back of your leg?" And she took a picture and it was my hamstring was all bruised. So she said it's probably not a good idea to run it. So I just took a few weeks off and didn't run, and then yeah, they just sort of did it on the day really. And yeah, that was probably one of the hardest runs I've done there.
Yeah, yeah. When you
Yeah.
run a hard marathon, you can't really do much anything harder than that, I reckon.
I don't think so now because there's no stopping, there's no aid stations. You're going for as quick as you can, and yeah, it was hard. And don't think I knew much about nutrition or what to take in or gels at the time, so I think I definitely got sort of depleted towards the end,
Yeah.
and it was yeah.
Mm. So backyard ultras in WA, they're a pretty big deal. I mean they're pretty big in Australia anyway, but um, they're really big in WA, and so many great backyard ultra runners are from over there. And you're from WA, so have you been a follower of the backyard ultra format for a while?
I think I was supposed to do Delirious, the last Delirious, and because I had my parents came over and my best friend, it was just so hard to try and fit the training in. So I deferred it for next year. And again I was sort of thinking I need something to aim for. So I entered Birdies, and then I started listening to your podcast,
Right.
and I kind of realized that everyone that was doing pretty good in the backyard ultras usually had ran one or two before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just on night shift at work and I was looking at the running calendar, and No Time to Die fell on my off swing.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just entered it there and then, and thought if I do this a couple of months before, it'll give me a good feel for for
Yeah.
what it's going to be like. So yeah, I did that really, and I loved it. Yeah, I thought this is awesome, and then that got me sort of excited for Birdies after that.
Okay. So before that run at No Time to Die, you'd never been to a backyard ultra just to watch or crew anyone?
No, never. No.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And what's the main reason for like not running one till this year, or you just never really felt like it, or what?
I've just done more point to points, really. Just I've just done point to points, but I thought it's something I should definitely give a crack because I mean, a point to point you do, and you can finish and say you've done it in whatever time. You can't. You're done then, aren't you? Once you pass the finish line, you're done and it's over.
Yeah.
Whereas with the backyard, as long as someone keeps pushing you, you really sort of see what you've got inside and see what you're capable of. And I think that's a good thing. It's sort of pushing people to the absolute limits. And
Yeah. And
yeah,
you were obviously attracted to that side of it.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know why. I think we're all a little bit mental, really. But yeah. I mean, it's nice to see what you're made of, isn't it? Really, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was your like modus operandi at No Time to Die?
What do you mean? Sorry, my what?
Like, did you like what was your game plan like at No Time to Die?
Game plan was to run 100 miles.
Yeah.
That so because I'd never run 100 miles. The longest I'd ever run is 100K. Yeah, so I've done 200Ks before that. Sorry, not 200Ks, two 100K
Yeah.
runs. Yeah. So yeah, but I pretty much finished night shift, got on a plane, like slept for a couple of hours, drove to Perth, got on a plane, got to the hotel. They told me the construction work was going on that night, and the run was the next day. So I had a terrible night's sleep, and then rocked up to No Time to Die. And I remember because the taxi driver drove right all the way up to in the park where you shouldn't have, and
Oh,
Sean was the first person there going off at him, telling him you can't. And then there was an argument between him and the taxi driver,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is a good start. But yeah, I was like, sorry, that's not. I didn't tell him to drive there. But just wanted to like I said, run 100 miles, and I was obviously just self-supporting myself.
Right.
So no crew, which I've realised now is a massive help having a cruise. Yeah,
Mm.
such a big help. But yeah, I met Margie there, Margie
Yeah.
Hadley. Yeah, and she's just awesome. She's like I met her and another couple of guys, and we just hung together through the night, and yeah, had a really really good time.
Yeah, yeah. So you did 25 yards there. Did you finish just because you hit that 100-mile goal?
Um, yeah, we all the two guys I met, David and Harry, we finished and we sort of said right, we're going to all finish together and have our martini together, and we did. But I wouldn't say like I didn't do it easily, like definitely not. And um, yeah, I was definitely struggling towards the end. My legs were very tired. I probably did have obviously like a bit more in the tank, but
Yeah,
yeah, I just thought there's going to be birdies in a few months, and if I really push it, I might not be fit for that.
yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So being your first backyard ultra, I mean, there must have been a few things that you learned about what works and what doesn't work and things like that.
Yeah, I, I was really good with food, and I didn't have any plan, but they had a food van there, so I could sort of order a pizza before I went out and tell them I wanted it ready when I got back, or order some hot chips. And I was just I was very conscious of just like making sure, sort of in the morning, that I had a good breakfast, making sure I had a good lunch, and in the evening, sort of have a dinner. And then I was doing, I think, once 250 mils and one scoop of tailwind every lap, and I was going to the toilet every lap. So I mean, I was having a wee every lap, so I thought that must be quite good.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's T-Bolt who has that food truck there at No Time to Die, isn't it?
yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
I had a bacon and egg. I'll say butty. That's what I said. But a bacon and egg balm in the morning. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, cool. So I had a look at your Strava, and I mean, I was expecting like to see 100-mile weeks, 200-mile weeks, like 200K weeks, and things like that. But I mean, you don't do a massive amount of Ks like some runners do. But I mean, you've obviously found what best works for you though.
Yeah, I think probably the last 4 weeks leading up to Birdies, I think I did 125k week, and then it was probably two around 90, and then I just didn't do much the week before. But that's probably big weeks for me, really. Yeah, and I do a lot of Pilates as well. That's something I value. Like I try and do at least 3 or 4 classes a week,
Mm,
sort of just because I think it's that sort of strength training that I never really did.
yeah. And what about the mental side? Like, did you after doing No Time to Die, did you kind of like understand that like these races are very mental and like were you like really dialed into the mental side of things?
Um, yeah, it is. It is so monotonous, isn't it? Just the same loop again, again, and again. And I think that's why, yeah, you have to sort of. I think most of the first laps on the in the daytime, I just did on my own. I just went out, did on my own, and you see so many people headphones in and just going for it on their own. And then as it started to creep into the evening, I thought, I want some friends now, you know. And then you start to meet people and chat, and it's you just sort of. I just tell myself that it's just one run after the other, and that's it, you know, and just chat to people, meet people, and sort of the time sort of flew by really.
Mm,
And then when the sun came up, it's like, it's awesome.
yeah,
It can't come quick enough. Yeah.
yeah. And so what about? I mean, you mentioned that No Time to Die, your goal was to run 100 miles. What about goals at Birdies? Were there any goals or milestones that were important to you?
I didn't set, I didn't really set a goal as a number, but obviously I knew in my head that I'd done the 100 miles, so I knew I could do that. Um, and then I sort of planned on pushing at least past 30, but I didn't set a number in my head because I thought if I do that, then you're going to tap out at it really. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you make any adjustments to your strategy based off your run at No Time to Die?
yes, shoes because I no time to die. I took probably a pair of Brooks Adrenaline that I'd probably already ran over 1,000 kilometers in, and an old pair of trail shoes. Yeah, and this time, and I think that's probably why my legs were quite sore there. And this time I brought my missus. I'm surprised she didn't kill me. I bought like three brand new pairs of shoes. The shoes just kept rocking up. So I bought some new Hoka Maffa tees, some Saucony Speed 4s, and I also got some Auto Palettes, but I never actually ended up wearing those. So yeah, I think the new shoes were a big thing. But I also think Birdies is probably a little bit easier on the legs, the terrain, it's like softer landing.
Yeah. Yeah, because it pretty much is all either gravel or grass, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. It's a lovely course actually. It's really
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
mean, I've probably seen enough of it to last me a while, but
Yeah. I ran there in 2023 and I loved it. I'd love to go back one day. It was a
yeah,
beautiful course.
oh, you definitely should.
Yeah.
I've got to go back now. I've got this massive bloody trophy to take back.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking. It's like, oh, well done for running for 59 hours. Here's a steel bird that's like 50 kilograms that you can't even lift.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned like using the food truck a lot at No Time to Die. Like, how did you change things as far as your nutrition goes at Birdies?
I had a lot of the up and go proteins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so that was Margie again that told me about those. I had the Milo pouches. They're like yeah. And what else? Because I didn't actually have my own support crew for Birdie. So I had a friend Aidan and Shane, and they crewed me later on in the race. But they ran, one of them ran 27, and then the other ran 30. So they did unbelievable efforts. But so basically, Aidan had a full plan, and he had his friend crewing him, and he pretty much just whatever he got ready for him was getting ready for me. So I just sort of jumped onto that. So I couldn't. I'm not exactly sure what I was eating, but there was Cocoa Pops with chocolate milk in a mug every now and again. That was really good. There was plenty of toast, cheese and ham toasties. I was just very conscious of eating some of it, like even if it's something small, trying to eat some proper food every lap.
Yeah.
That was my plan, really.
Yeah. 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 Shane was actually messaging me a little bit towards the end, like
Yeah.
giving me updates.
Oh yeah, he did. I came in one lap and he said I just messaged Pado because he knows I'll listen to your podcast. He said you can only go on if you win.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to win now.
Right. Did you use anything like gels or anything like that?
No, no, I don't really like gels. I had Tailwind and I had Brew,
Yeah.
which I think we were putting about 20 scoops to 5 liters of water, and I was filling up. I started a 250 ml soft flask for most of the daytime on the first day, and then through the night it was about the same. And then when I think it was the next morning, at one point I know I changed up to about 500 mils because I realized I wasn't going to the toilet quite as much. So, but then probably for a good 75%, I reckon I was doing the 350 ml bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was only half and half. But by that point, because I was so over Tailwind, I was just, you know what it's like. It's
Yeah.
you're trying to wash lollies down with Tailwind, and it's just disgusting. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know. It's like at the start it tastes beautiful, but at the end it tastes like dishwashing detergent.
oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I didn't even know what flavor I was getting by that point. You just don't care. But then you've come this far, and you kind of know that you still need
Yeah,
to get it inside you. So yeah.
that's it. So now I understand that when we mentioned that the course is mainly gravel and grass, which means like if it rains, it does get pretty uncomfortable. So, but I was told that there were sections of the course that were like was like a swamp. It was so wet.
Yeah, oh, there was quite a few sections that were unrunnable. Yeah, it was just yeah, it was. I feel like it definitely slowed me down a bit on some of the laps.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the first day when we got the rain. It was kind of we were just running through the puddles, but then when I was changing my shoes, I was conscious of to try and avoid them because I just didn't want to keep getting wet feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how many
but
times like so would you be changing your socks like how often were you like changing your socks and stuff like that?
I think probably maybe about every 10 loops or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't towards the later stages. I don't know. It was like coming in an F1 pit stop because I started with one guy as a crew, but by the end I had about six people. One giving me a cup of tea, one giving me a sandwich, one working on each foot. It was just incredible. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Um, so it must have been raining mainly at night because all of the footage I saw on Facebook, it looks beautiful. So is that right? Like it was raining at night time, was it mainly? Or
Yeah, it did through the night. It didn't rain as much as what they forecast, like because they were saying early on, oh, we possibly could get storms and lightning, and the event could be cancelled. And
oh,
yeah, I remember thinking, I hope that doesn't happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was your pacing plan like? Did you go in like with a plan of how fast you would run your loops in?
No, I'm like not very meticulous or I don't really write. I'm pretty useless at writing things down and that. So it was yeah, like daytime I was just felt comfortable going a lot quicker, but in the nighttime I just didn't feel that confident trying to go too quick with the head torches, especially in the wetter areas because one slip on a rock or a branch is pretty much going to end your run.
Yeah.
So I was trying to sort of stay with other people around the night time.
Mm. So,
So
roughly what type of pace were you running your loops in?
I think in the daytime, I think it would have been around probably 45 minutes. And
Okay.
then the first evening, it was definitely we're probably only giving ourselves about 8 minutes, 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but before we went back out, and then the next morning, I just remember feeling like I felt so fresh again, and then started running quicker again in the day.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really. yeah, without it. Do the stats of the loops actually go and do they actually come out at any point? No.
No, no, not no. At some races they do, but not at Birdies. So the and how did you did you run according to like the course? Was it just like basically walking the muddy and rocky sections and running the rest, or were you running and walking to time?
I was so I was when it come into the evenings, I was running pretty much right the way through to the first sort of caravan part.
Mm,
Yeah, I would usually stop there and have a little bit of a walk, and I would run the straight bit of road, so to speak, down to the lake,
yeah.
and then I would maybe walk a tiny bit again, and then I would run all the way to the bridge, which I seem like when you get onto that little bit of single track coming to the bridge, that seems to go on forever. That seems like such a long piece of trail, and then yeah, over the bridge, and then I would run to the paddock, maybe have a tiny walk there, and then yeah, looking back, I probably ran. It seemed like I was running a lot of it, to be honest. Yeah, like most of it. I just felt like especially through the nights, that because you're moving slower, that there wasn't that much time to walk. Like I
Mm,
felt like I was always, even if I was slowing the run down, that I was running the majority of the course.
mm. I think I read somewhere it was pretty deep into the race. It was probably in the 50s or something like that. You ran a really fast loop, like 41 minutes or something like that, because you needed to go to the bathroom or something.
Um, I actually, because my friend's mother who took over from the aid station started writing things down. I think it was around four. So it would have been the loop before the last night. I knew that it was going to get dark soon, so they're giving me my head torch, and I thought if I go quick, I can beat the light, and then I can try and get a sleep in because I'm going to move slower in the evening. Because I
Yeah,
hadn't slept at all up until this point because I didn't expect to be going this long.
yeah.
So I just pretty much, yeah, I gunned it and went as quick as I could really, and then got back and I looked at my watch sort of coming in and realized, and then yeah, I pretty much just pointed at the caravan instead and got my face mask, earplugs, and I've never slept in a run in my life, and I didn't think I'd be able to sleep, but apparently I was out like a light to the point where I was even just twitching in bed,
Right.
and then I got woke up, given a chocolate pudding and a banana, and pushed back out again. And I actually felt pretty good for it, like for the sleep. It made a big difference.
Yeah. Did you continue sleeping between loops after that?
No, I didn't because that would have been in the yeah, like you said, it was probably around 50. It would have been yeah in the later stages. So yeah, luckily I didn't need to because a few hours after that it was over. But I was worried. I was thinking, I've not slept for I've had 10 minutes sleep in 3 days. I was worried I was going to start seeing things because you hear about all hallucinations and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was my next question. Like, were you showing signs of sleep deprivation? Like, were you feeling tired or you weren't hallucinating?
I'm pretty sure coming to the bridge at one point, I thought I saw a penguin in a suit.
Right.
So I thought, and then I sort of thought, no, this isn't happening. I'm not even gonna focus on what's around me. I'm gonna keep looking forward. And the light and the grass were all sort of, yeah, looked like they were almost 3D coming at me. So I think there was probably definitely signs that my brain was definitely tired. But I just kind of tried to zone everything out and just focus on keep moving forward. And then pick a point and say, right, run to that tree, walk this bit, and yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't even know. I don't even know what. I didn't even know what lap I finished on it in the end. It was just. I just knew that I needed to keep going and keep my head down, so that's what I did.
Yeah. Awesome. Did you have like a caffeine? Were you taking caffeine during the race?
Oh, no dose, which I'd never ever taken before. So,
Right.
and that was only in the later stages. So I didn't know how that was going to go, and that's because Aidan and Shane had it. So they were giving it me, I think, every 3 or every 4 hours. They were giving me a no dose. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds about right. Yeah. And what was
yeah.
the first 24 hours of the race like for you? You mentioned like you're running on your own for the first bit and then you started running with others. But like a lot of the times you hear people say the first 24 hours is the hardest because they know how much further there is to go. It's boring and things like that. How did you? How what was it like for you the first 24 hours?
I actually really quite enjoyed the first 24 hours because I still had my two friends with me and we were in
Yeah,
it together. And yeah, and I like Aiden came in at what, lap, I think 26, and his wife and his kid were there, and he sort of said, "I'm done," and he was tearing up, and I said, "No, you're not." I said, "You're ending it on the course, is what you're going to do."
yeah,
And he came out and he said, "You go ahead. I'm going to do my own thing." And he actually overtook me and Shane, and you could see him up ahead. And I was just, yeah, it was just awesome. It was just, I don't know, it's just awesome to see people push and do that. And yeah, he came in and then he called it then. So
yeah,
yeah.
nice. So there weren't any times in that first 24 hours specifically where you had any low points or issues that needed to be addressed?
Um, no, no, I sort of, yeah, I don't know. No, not
Yeah.
really. Not at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So yard 26 was your PB loop. How were you feeling around that time?
Good. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I sort of, I went into I went into it, like I said, I went in sort of with the, like in my head, like the race doesn't even start until you get past
yeah,
25 because you've already been there, and that was my sort of mentality. And then
mm,
anything after that, if I was feeling good, was a bonus, because I didn't know how my body was going to hold up or how I was going to feel.
yeah. And basically the way your body was feeling like was good.
Yeah, I was so surprised, honestly. Like, yeah, well, we were chatting to people, and so everyone was just saying, "How are you? How are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine. Like, I feel good."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually did. And I don't know if it's, I think if you, I don't know if it's more a mental thing. If you tell yourself you're good, you just keep feeling good. But yeah,
Were there any moments in the race where you thought to yourself, like, gee, I knew I'd do well, but I'm even surprising myself here?
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yes, but yeah, when there was we're sort of down to the last what 4 or 5 people, and I was just like, this is incredible, and started to look around, and then as a couple more dropped out, then I started to think, you know, this this is getting pretty serious. That might actually be in with a chance here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name. Was it? I'm not sure if he was fourth or fifth. Was it? Might have been Mike or Michael, but he kept. I think he was sprinting in like the last, just making it in time before the next loop,
Yeah.
and then he kept going again and again and again, and I was like, this guy is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at one point, because he only just made it in, and we went past the start, me and Ethan, Ethan's spirit, he ran 40 loops.
Right.
We basically give him some food and stuff for his next lap because I thought he didn't have time to grab
Yeah.
anything, and then I think he made it again. Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I love it when runners do that. Like they just, it looks like, yeah. Yeah. There was a runner at the most recent one I did at Wild Dog. He was coming in with about 1 or 2 minutes to go for like the last 6 or 7 loops.
it's incredible. That's like just leaving everything out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, did you know Simon, who was your assist before the race?
No, but well, I'd had met him because I worked Ingletree at Delirious, the aid station, so I volunteered there at
Yeah.
the last Delirious, and then it wasn't till the next day after the run that he said, "Oh, that's where I'd seen his face before."
Yeah.
So yeah, so we had previously met. Yeah, he's yeah, a really nice guy, and yeah, yeah. I didn't think I was very surprised he stopped when he did. I just didn't think. I thought we were going to have to go through the night, to be honest.
Mm. He ran a big PB himself. His previous best was 35. So you both absolutely went bananas.
Yeah, yeah, and I knew from chatting to him that yeah, he'd obviously done a few 200 miles and things under his belt, so
Yeah.
I knew that mentally how strong he was.
Yeah. Did you chat much with Simon out on course when it was just down to the two of you?
No, sometimes at the start we'd have a little chat, and coming into that last night, I said, "Are you happy doing your own thing, or do you want to stay together?" And he said, "Oh, I'll just put my music in
Mm.
because I just wanted to, if he would have said, right, let's stick together, I probably would have,
Yeah.
because that's when it got hard. Is in when there's only two people on course, I think, and you've got no one else around. I think it's just another ball game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely different, especially because it's harder to gauge where you are on pace, especially because there's no one behind you.
yeah, definitely. Because I spent most of the early stages of just going off other people.
Yeah.
Like I ran a lot of hours with Margie, and she's so good at. She's like, no, we're okay here, we're okay there, and as long as when I'm with her, I don't have to think. I just like, right, stay with Margie, and it's super chilled. Whereas, yeah, when I'm on my own, you get a bit panicky and start looking at the time. And I think one lap I hadn't pushed my watch, so it must have carried on from the last. And then I looked down, and it was like I hadn't even done half the course. It was like 37 minutes, and there's just this big panic. And
Right.
then I looked at the time and realized no, it'd only actually been sort of 19 minutes. So it was
Yeah.
like panic over.
So when it was just you and Simon, like, did you get together and figure out what each other wanted out of the race? Like, did you know he was just in it till he couldn't go any longer?
He he was talking about, I think, telling his wife that he's not going to be home, and sort of he definitely didn't give any indication he was going to quit.
Mm.
And then I think as it got close, and they sort of said, oh, as we got close towards 48, I remember thinking, oh wow, this would be amazing to do 200 miles. Like that's going to be such an achievement.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, then it was, oh, you could actually beat the course record, and then that gets inside your head. And we obviously, yeah, we ran that. I waited for him so we could come in together to do that. So that was good. But we didn't chat lots on course. But I did turn to him at one point and say, because I think I passed some arguments on course. She said something about if you can get so many loops, you might have a chance of like sat champs. So then I did say to him, I said, are you gonna be able to go to sort of 62 and beyond? And he said, oh, yeah, I think he said we'll see, or yeah, but obviously we didn't quite make it there. But
Mm. Yeah. So at the moment, like in Australia, the magic number of yards is 63 because it will get you on the at-large list for the Sat Champs. So you were thinking about that a little bit out there?
when we started getting close towards that number, I was, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, I think Australia's probably got some of the best like backyard runners in the world by far. It's insane what people are doing. It's like, is it Jashi? He just did like
Yeah.
over 100. He's like, that guy's incredible. And
Yeah.
yeah, we've obviously got Phil. I don't really think he's human, Phil, but I'm not. They need to test his blood and see what's in there.
So as we mentioned, you are from WA. Birdies is in WA. So did you know many of the other runners like in the race?
No, no, just the two friends I was with, and then Margie from meeting her at No Time to Die, and I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, but by the end of it, loads of people.
Yeah.
That's such the good thing of it. It's just
Yeah.
Aaron. Obviously Aaron Young was there. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think in the daytime I just sat behind him and just listening to his conversations with people and what he's done, and
Yeah.
that was just, yeah, I just enjoyed that. It was really good.
Yeah. So you mentioned Shane and was it Aiden were your
Yeah,
crew?
yeah.
Was it pre-planned that they would jump in and crew for you if you were still going when they dropped out?
I think it was just known that if any of us dropped out, we would crew for each other. I think that was the plan, like help each other. But early on, we had Aiden's friend Jordan. Shane had his family with him, and who else did I have? I had a guy called Matt. He came and crewed as well. Matt and Luke. So there was some, yeah. So we had plenty of crew in the day, and then in those later stages when Aiden and Shane stepped in, and also Shane's mum, like they were just incredible. Because and sorry, I'm Matt. I don't want to leave anybody out,
Yeah.
but they're all runners themselves, or ultra runners, so they kind of just know what you need, and they weren't afraid to just take your shoes, socks off, sort out any blisters, wrap your feet, massage your legs. It was, yeah, I just I could never ever have done it without them. Like it's a team effort without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. And how awesome is the Birdies course? How everyone's there camping and like they're lining
Oh,
the course when you come in and stuff like
it's
that.
incredible, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
point to point, you might run for a few hours on your own and don't get to see anyone. With the backyard, you pretty much celebrated every, especially in late days. That's the best part of it is coming in at the end of every hour and just everyone clapping, and then the guys I was with, Shane and Aidan and Matt, and they're just like, we're so proud to be a part of this. You're doing amazing, and they were like so genuinely excited
Yeah.
that I just didn't want to let them down. Like you just because they were putting in such an effort as well. It
Mm.
was yeah. I feel like I was pretty good mentally and stuff, but I know there was one loop where I came in and I was like probably a bit teary, but I think you just do get emotional sometimes. And I was thinking, oh, how much longer am I going to have to do this?
Yeah.
But then I got some music on and yeah, just got in the right mindset again and carried on.
Yeah. Cool. So, what type of music fires you up when you're running a backyard ultra?
Um, I listen to a lot of 90s music really.
Yeah.
Like, and I have like Stereophonics and David Gray and Oasis and
Yeah.
yeah. But who else did I have? A bit of Avicii, like dance music, and yeah, just yeah. I probably didn't really have listen to music till later on in the race. Even I had my headphones in a lot of the time, but at one point my phone died, so I just didn't have music for quite a few laps. But
Okay. So, I have heard that some people do hold off having music for as long as they could. Was that part of a plan or just the way things happened?
just the way things happen, really. I think more if I've got people to talk to, then I'm happy without music. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's just when you're on your own, you need something just to keep you mentally sane, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So you finished as the last one standing with 59 yards. And like watching the live stream on Facebook, it was one of those situations like where you were standing in the starting corral, ready to start number 60, but Simon still hadn't come back in to complete 59. So, of course, you didn't have to start the yard again because Simon didn't make it back in time. But on that 59th yard, while you were out there running, did you know that Simon was struggling?
I kept turning. I took a torch and a headlamp out on that last one because I wasn't moving as quick, mainly because I couldn't see that well as I wanted to. So I thought if I take better light, I can move a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So as I was getting towards the end, coming over the paddock, anyway, like the main big paddock, I kept looking back and I stopped and I turned off my lights and looked back and I couldn't see his light at all. And it wasn't a quick lap for me. And then I started to think maybe he's not there. So anyway, I just carried on, and I must have done that. I reckon I stopped and looked back probably 5 or 6 times, and then when I got near to the finish line, I looked back one last time, and when I couldn't see him, then I thought this could be it.
Yeah.
But refused to believe it. Like even after I got in and sat down, and the guy said that could have been your last lap. And then I almost did. I felt like crying, but I looked at my watch and I think there was still like 7 minutes. I was like, he's coming in. He's definitely going to make it. He's going to be here.
Yeah.
And then someone said that he was still on the beach.
Right.
And then I thought, okay, well, he's probably not. He actually might not make it back.
Mm.
And,
Did
yeah,
he? Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, did he have to get collected off course, or did he eventually come in just with a few minutes?
no, they did go and collect him. Yeah, they went and collected him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah, it's horrible to say, but I was at a point where I was like, you're quite relieved that he's not made it in as much as much as you're in it together. There's still someone's got to win, I suppose. It's yeah.
So
But, yeah,
yeah, I was going to ask, like, how did it feel when you found out that you're the last one standing?
it felt amazing to be honest. Yeah, yeah. I do, yeah, just hugged it out with Shane, and I also had another friend that of all the 59 hours he could have turned up, he pretty much turned up for the last one. So he finished work and drove there, so he timed it well. Yeah. So yeah, he did. Yeah. So yeah, it was good for them to be there. My partner, she left on my last loop, but she didn't
No.
know it was going to be the last loop.
Yeah.
So she drove back to Austerlin, like Bunbury, and yeah, obviously if she'd have known, she would have hung around. But she thought like I did myself. I thought it was going to carry on going into that night for a lot longer.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was good. I rang her up, and she was very happy.
Yeah. So your family, I imagine you've still got family over in the UK. Were they all following along as well?
Think so, yeah, as much as they could with the time difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not had like I looked on some of the comments and things on Facebook, and yeah, my family are there, sort of like go on and things. Yeah, and that, like I've got my auntie and uncle on my mum's side. They're in Perth, so they would have been following as well. And I think my partner Savannah, she was sort of messaging everyone and on group chats and letting them know what was going on.
Yeah. Awesome. And when the race finished, like how were you feeling physically?
I was feeling. I'd probably say you'd think you'd had enough, but then you could have asked me the same at lap 35 and I would have said the same. So um, I think I definitely had more. I was prepared to keep going if I had to. I
Yeah.
just got it in my head that I've come this far, and I've never won anything in my life, so I was like, I'm not going to give up now. Yeah.
Mm. So if there was one part of your body that hurt the most, was it, could you pinpoint anything there?
Probably my feet were hurting a bit. Yeah, like blisters. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they just kept getting taped up,
Right.
and it's probably something people don't always talk about. But I had such bad chafage in my bloody butt, you know.
Right.
So it was like that was so sore. I had to like keep putting 3B cream on and things throughout the race. But yeah, that was really uncomfortable.
Yeah. So when did that become an issue or begin to get uncomfortable?
Probably about 35 yards in, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it hurts, that's for sure. So from this race at Birdies, are there any areas that you've identified that you can improve in?
Sleep, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like if I do another, then I'll definitely plan on having a bit of like planning in some sleep for sure.
Like basically from when the race begins, kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt so awake in the first 24 hours though. I just feel like I would struggle to sleep that first night. It would be awesome if we could, but I'll definitely give it a go. But because I do sort of shift work, so I work nights, so I'm used to every first night shift I do. I don't sleep in the day and usually just power through anyway. So I know that I can do that for a night at least. But definitely on that second night, I would try and sleep for sure.
Yeah. And just to make sure we all know, like as far as Sat Champs go, you're Australian, like you're not going to go and run for UK or anything like that, are you? Or
No, it's funny because I've always put like England down in my registration, but as soon as I entered in the backyards, I did put Australia for the first time ever,
oh, cool.
just in case. I thought, I don't know how this could, just in case I ever did well. I thought I'd like to run for Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So where is your mind at now? Like, are you pumped to sign up for another one?
Yeah, well, my next run was supposed to is delirious actually. So, um, but obviously, yeah, I know there's Herdes is in what month? What month is Herdes? Is
Oh,
that
I think it's usually in March.
is it? Yeah. So probably won't be able to do Herdes. So maybe, yeah, I'll definitely will do another one. I mean, I don't know how many is really. I mean, running's good for you, but I don't think doing too many backyards is probably good for the body. But I don't know. Would you agree?
Um, yeah, well, look, I've never gone as far as 59 yards, so um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess everyone's different. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like we talked about, like you don't do that many Ks leading into the race, and you did 59 yards. Some people need to do like everyone's just. I think just everyone's different. So I mean,
Yeah.
I guess no one knows your body as well as yourself.
Yeah, I just feel like if I do, like I said, if I do 90, with a 90K week and I'm running well, and I mean, most of my runs are a fairly decent pace, like a comfortable pace for me. And then if my heart rate's quite low going at that pace, then I feel like coming into a backyard and going that much steadier that my body's not working too hard to, I mean, I never thought I'd be able to sustain what I did for as long as I did, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way it all panned out.
Yeah. Um, on the subject of heart rate, do you like monitor your heart rate when you're sleeping and things like that?
No, I'm not really a stats man at all. I don't even have a running plan. Like I don't even have a week to week plan for runs. I just go out the door. I think most of my runs are probably around. You probably hate me because I work in miles. I
Right.
don't work in kilometers. But so what would probably 10 miles, 9 miles. So like maybe around 15 Ks. A lot of my runs are fairly like I usually try and run for over, do an hour run for most of my runs, and yeah, and then slip in a few longer ones. But I think I did one, yeah, I did one. A marathon was my longest run before Birdies. So
So there's almost exactly 12 months from now to make the Australian teams at large list. Like, have you thought of a game plan on how you'll make the team?
how far would you have to go to do that?
Well, 63 yards to get on now, but you can also get on by be finishing as the last one standing in a silver ticket race.
So what are the silver ticket races?
So Birdys is the silver ticket race in WA.
Yeah,
There's none in South Australia. The Victorian one's a GV, which is next month. But then there's Reds as well in New South Wales.
right, okay,
That's August next year. Um,
right,
and then there's Sydney's, which I think is in April next year.
April next year. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I've not really given it much thought, to be honest. I never thought I'd be where I am right now. So,
Yeah.
it's definitely something to think about, and it'd be, yeah, to maybe work towards. So I'd have to sort of work out, yeah, my work roster and what I could do and what I can't do, and what's achievable. And I suppose I'd be silly if I didn't at least give it a crack. Yeah,
Well, it definitely seems as though you're well and truly capable of going well beyond the 59.
yeah, maybe, yeah, well, yeah, well, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you said you listen to the podcast, so you probably know, Colin, I like to ask my guests their three backyard ultra tips. What are your three
Oh, this
backyard
absolutely
ultra
gross. I knew you were going to ask this because
tips?
what was I going to say? So yeah, well, like ultras are hard enough when you're on your own. So I think in a backyard when it's early on, I think talk to people and make the loops go quicker and then just enjoy yourself. I think that would be a big one. And then if you really want to go for it, I think be prepared to time out on the course and give it absolutely everything. Because if you I think if you set a goal, then a lot of the time you're probably going to stop at that goal.
Yeah,
If you have a number in your head.
yeah.
So, what else? No, my last one was just to carry some toilet paper when you're out there.
Was that an issue?
It was early on for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple of bowls of porridge, and it just didn't really sit well with me at all.
Mm,
And yeah, obviously there's that one toilet out on course, but I believe that the stairs where the jetty is, you had to go up the stairs and down the stairs every time, and that's never been part of the course before.
right.
So I think without those stairs, the course would. I mean, it's not much, but over the space of hours and hours, it definitely adds up having to go up and down and up and down. So yeah, there was a toilet there, so you kind of had to. It was pretty horrible if you were 15 minutes away and you really needed to go. You had to get there. So
Yeah.
my friend Shane, we both had to go to the toilet at one point, and the time was ticking over, and I came out and shouted, "Are you ready?" And he said, "No, I've still got a bit longer." He actually had to pretty much sprint in from there, and he made it in I think 58 and a half minutes. He
Right.
nearly timed out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, your stomach. I think if your stomach goes, you can really yeah, it's yeah not good. But I came good again. I wasn't more stomach aches. It was just needing to go to the toilet a lot. So I
Yeah.
kind of stopped eating too much food at that point,
Yeah.
and yeah, stuck to sort of bananas and then I think I might have had a bit of toast and then got and came good again.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that's probably why the chafing was bad because you wiped your ass so many times.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's yeah, red raw.
Yeah, because
It's
I had the same issue like at a backyard ultra a while ago, where I was just using the toilet paper, and I had
yeah.
the worst chafing as well. So ever since then, I've just been carrying around just a small packet of like wet wipes.
Oh, they're gold. They're like
Yeah,
heaven when
yeah,
you use toilet paper.
yeah.
Yeah,
It makes such a big. Well, it's made such a big difference to me anyway.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's definitely tips and tricks that you pick up along the way, like you said. So I'll definitely be taking a few more ideas into the next one, yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
cool. Yeah, well, congratulations. I love these people like you who just come from nowhere and just announce themselves on the backyard ultra scene with a huge result like that. That was bloody impressive. Like it was so
Oh,
fun to follow along.
yeah, oh, thanks so much. And yeah, I was yeah, without Simon, I would never have pushed as far as we did. So I'm so grateful to him. He's yeah, we had a bit of a chat the next morning. He's such a nice guy, and yeah, I
Mm.
just yeah, I'm sure. I think he's got a lot more in the bank as well. I think
Yeah, I
yeah,
was going to say like it looks like he's like he loves the backyard ultras as well, and like he comments on his posts after races like he's learnt a lot, and he ran a big PB, so I imagine that he's got more PBs in him to come.
I think he has. Yeah, yeah.
Mm, awesome. Well, congratulations again, Colin. Awesome run, and I'm looking forward to watching your next one. Hopefully, maybe I'll even be in the same race as you. We'll see.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Don't go anywhere. I'll hit stop on record. Okay.
Okay. All right.